Hello, best beloved. It is I, Sister Petra, Pyper, Pictapekhov, Pickled Peppers, here to say hello. And I was hoping to read to you from this wonderful book called Tops and Bottoms, adapted and illustrated by Janet Stevens. In these present times, where it is so controversial for someone in drag to be literate and to share that literacy, at first I thought it would be a nice thing to do this. But then I realized that though this book truly is meant for children, and is solidly about a bear, a lazy bear, and a rabbit, and stealing food back and forth. Much like Rugrats, the movie, which had all sorts of things to keep the adults entertained, such as during the early moments of Dill Pickles laying there in the bassinet in the room with all the other ones, and they were singing about just being born. And one cries out, "My cord, they cut my cord." And another one lifts up the edge of their diaper and looks down and goes, "You should be so lucky." Those bits of things, which are common and meant to go over the children. I don't believe that this book was meant to do that. I truly think it is completely innocent. Unlike Hooker and Blow Save Christmas, the wonderful story of a tow truck and a snowblower. But I did want to share this with you. I won't read the entire thing, but I do want you to at least see some of the illustrations and see why those with an adult mind may see other things. So, tops and bottoms. Ooh, Claire. Tops and bottoms. So we have some lovely pictures of vegetables to start. The book opens up and down, which is, unique and pretty neat. But it starts with, once upon a time, there lived a very lazy bear who had lots of money and lots of land. His father had been a hard worker and a smart business bear, and he had given all of his wealth to his son. But all Bear wanted to do was sleep. Obviously, this book is already woke because it deals with critiquing generational wealth and the idea of bootstraps. So, we have our lazy bear. But not far down the road lived a hare. Although Hare was clever, he sometimes got into trouble. He had once owned land too, but now he had nothing. He had lost a risky bet with a tortoise and had sold all his land to Bear to pay off the debt. Hare and his family were in very bad shape. "The children are so hungry, Father Hare. We must think of something," Mrs. Hare cried one day. So Hare and Mrs. Hare put their heads together and cooked up a plan. Obviously, the family already refers to the fact that these are poorer people, and I don't think that necessarily that risky bet was all, but the idea that having to seek help from the generationally wealthy. Now here we have the position of Bear. Already suspicious. So of course they arrange for a deal with Bear. They wake him up, and we can be business partners. And all we need is this field right here in front of your house. I'll do the hard work of planting and harvesting, and we can split the profit right down the middle. Yes, Sir Bear, we're in this together. I'll work and you sleep. Huh? Said Bear. So what will it be, Bear? Asked Hare. The top half or the bottom half? It's up to you. Tops or bottoms? Let's see, Bear said with a yawn. I'll take the top half, Hare. Right, tops. Hare smiled. It's a done deal, Bear. And again, notice Bear's position. And so, Bear went back to sleep, and they harvest and they plant and they set things up, and they have a really nice garden. And when it's time, the whole idea of you get the tops and we get the bottoms. Again, that position. And turns out they planted all those lovely tubers and root vegetables. He tossed all the tops into a pile for Bear and put the bottoms aside for himself. Bear's not very happy. But Hare, all the best parts are in your half. You chose tops, Hare said. Now, Hare, you've tricked me. You plant this field again. And this season, I want the bottoms. Hare agreed. It's a done deal, Bear. And of course, the whole thing happens all over again. Bear sleeps. They use his land. Again, Bear's position. And so on and so forth. Again, Bear's position. Wakes him up, and this time, they gathered up lettuce, broccoli, and celery, and Hare pulled off the bottoms for Bear and put the tops in his own pile. Again, Bear's positions are just so innuendo-ish. Bear looked at his pile. You cheated me again. You plant this field again, you tricked me twice, and you owe me one season of both tops and bottoms. You're right, poor old Bear, sighed Hare. It's only fair that you get tops and bottoms this time. It's a done deal, Bear. And of course, Bear sleeps, and they plant and weed, and do the thing that repetitively happens in children's books. And when it was time, wake up, Bear. This time you get the tops and the bottoms. There in front of Bear's house lay a high field of corn. Hare and his family yanked up every cornstalk. Hare tugged off the roots at the bottom and the tassels at the top, and put them in a pile for Bear. Then he carefully collected all the ears in the middle and put them in his own pile. Bear rubbed his eyes and watched. See, Bear? You get the tops and the bottoms. Yes, sir, Bear, it's a done deal. By now, Bear was wide awake. That's it, Hare, he hollered. From now on, I'll plant my own crops and take the tops, bottoms, and middles. Hare and his family scooped up the corn and hopped down the road toward home. Bear never again slept through a season of planting and harvesting, and Hare brought back his land with profit from the crops. He and Mrs. Hare opened a vegetable stand. And although Hare and Bear learned to live happily as neighbors, they never became business partners again. And I'll let you again and show you the cover you've got, So again, careful how you read. Don't read this to kids like I just read it. Though, when you read it to adults, you can mention the suspicious parts. And you can mention critical race theory, because this clearly discusses generational wealth, losing things, and how you have to trick the bear, because the bear may not be too smart to be able to get back where you were and restart what you once had. Anyway, just grabbed it off the shelf and thought I'd try it out and was surprised myself. So, love to you all. should you need us.